Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics, and welcome to Taylor's Detroit Sports on Spreaker. My name is Taylor Phillips. This is episode 6. Right before the Tigers begin Game 2 of this series against the Angels, I want to fit in a broadcast real quick. Tigers took Game 1 of the 4-game series 6-4. It was a battle between two heavyweights. The Angels were the second best team in the majors, and the Tigers were the third best team in the majors coming into this series, both behind the Oakland Athletics. And here's how Game 1 went. Tigers get the game's first run on an RBI ground out by Ian Kinsler in the third inning against wicked curveball throwing Garrett Richards. Max Scherzer gives up 3 runs in the fifth on an infield single by C.J. Cron and a 2-run single by Cole Calhoun. Tigers strike back with 3 runs of their own off back-to-back doubles by Torrey Hunter and Nick Castellanos in the sixth. Castellanos drove in 2 runs to give the Tigers a 4-3 lead. They would get another run on an Ian Kinsler double off of former Tiger Jason Grilli in the 7th, and one more on an Austin Jackson RBI single that would have been a diving catch by Mike Trout. It looked pretty close, but there was no challenge by Angels manager Mike Scioscia. Jabba Chamberlain would give up a run in that inning on a sacrifice fly by Josh Hamilton after getting in danger with runners on the corners and nobody out. Thread started with a Mike Trout RBI double, but then he would get out of it with a ground ball double play 6-4-3 off the bat of Eric Ibar. And then Joe Nathan would strike out the side in order to pick up his 21st save, pleading his case against the relief pitcher that the Tigers earlier this week acquired in a trade with the Rangers, Joakim Soria, who was warming up in the bullpen in the top of the 7th. Scherzer gave him the night off by pitching a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of that 7th inning. Tonight, J.D. Martinez returns to the lineup after upper quad soreness. And Drew Smyly will take on Tyler Skaggs. Drew Smyly pitched a whale of a game his last outing, only gave up 1 run, pitched 7 full innings, as I may recall, against the Cleveland Indians, and got a win in the Tigers' 5-1 victory over the Cleveland Indians. But Drew Smyly has got to be ready to take on a very heavy artillery of an Angels lineup, including Mike Trout, Josh Hamilton, and Albert Pujols. Iannetta is returning to the lineup for the Angels. Cole Calhoun is leading off. Starting lineups for tonight. Tyler Skaggs is a left-handed pitcher, by the way. Tigers will start with Austin Jackson at center. Then Ian Kinsler will play second base, batting second. Miguel Cabrera at first base, batting third. Victor Martinez batting cleanup at the DH. J.D. Martinez, who just returned, as I mentioned before, playing left field and batting fifth. And then Torrey Hunter, the right fielder. And then the seventh batter will be Nick Castellanos at third base. Alex Avila who has struck out 42% of the time this season against left-handed pitchers, will start tonight. And then Eugenio Suarez will round out the lineup at shortstop. Drew Smyly is 6-8 with a 3.80 ERA. Lifetime against the Angels 0-1 with a 4.5 sharp ERA. Tyler Skaggs is 5-5 with a 4.65 ERA. Lifetime against the Tigers 2-1, 2.70 ERA. Tigers right now have a 7.5 game lead over the Kansas City Royals and third place Cleveland. Royals nipped the Indians in 14 innings, 2-1 last night in KC. I want to get to the Lions real quick. I wanted to mention that they were reportedly not optimistic about agreeing on a deal with defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh. He's a very good pass rusher, but he's very well known for his dirty antics on the field in the past. This one's from the Oakland Press. His contract runs through the 2014 season and has a salary cap hit of $22 million. Chris Mortensen of ESPN reported that if Suh doesn't get signed, his franchise tender would be $26.7 million in 2015 for the option, or he would become an unrestricted free agent entering his sixth NFL season. Suh recently fired his former agent in January and signed a new agent, Jimmy Sexton, in March. Both sides have said they wanted to reach an agreement, but neither side has made a public announcement in months. It's likely that number 90, the second overall pick in the 2010 draft, wants to be the highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL. A year ago, Cincinnati's Gene Atkins signed a 6-year deal worth $66.423 million. While there's no question Suh has found success on the field, he drew attention to himself this spring when he didn't show up for the voluntary off-season workout programs from the get-go. All of his dirty antics in the past and his absence in the voluntary off-season workout programs is putting the Lions in a more difficult spot. Paula Paschke, the writer of the Oakland Press, wrote this article and said, quote, Ndamukong is a man with a mind of his own. Nothing should be surprising to the Lions management or the fans, unquote. The veterans of the Lions team will report for training camp this Sunday and hold their first practice on Monday. I look at it as more as a close to a 50-50 approach as to whether or not Suh will become an unrestricted free agent or that he will exercise the option with the option for 2015 with the organization. It's still mind-boggling for General Manager Martin Mayhew to figure this out. I'd say give them next month to think it over. Their deadline to reach an agreement, according to Bleacher Report's article, is week 1 sometime in that period of the NFL regular season in 2014. Also a Red Wings short. The Detroit Red Wings have signed young forward Landon Ferraro to a 1-year, two-way, $550,000 contract. They will test his overall performance at training camp in Traverse City on the ice, at center ice. And then they will determine whether he gets called up by the Wings or he gets sent down to Grand Rapids and plays for the Griffins. So that's all the ground I have to cover for episode 6 of Taylor's Detroit Sports. I will be back next Monday for episode 7 when the Tigers have the day off. Until then, TTFN, ta-ta for now.